I'm seeing his interviews. Leo Gillen.
And we need to talk about Leonie Forbes as well.
Oh, yeah. There's the pin. There we are. No one's on yet. So,
Okay. So we are there.
mhm.
Okay. Okay, good morning, Dr. Joni. Thank you so much for joining. It's good to see you.
My pleasure.
Okay, good morning, Dr. Joni. Thank you so much for joining. It's good. Dr. Joni, are you hearing me? I'm not hearing you respond. How have you been?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I'm hearing you.
Awesome. I said my pleasure.
Yes, but how was your week?
My week was hectic. Strange. I thought I was gonna implement a simple policy and everyone was gonna follow directions because my new title is Chief of Staff. And then midweek, I'm sitting there and I get an email. And now I'm supposed to be oversight manager for some other project. And I'm like, Jesus, I just fixed that problem barely. And now they put more on my plate.
Well, that's what comes from being good. That's what happens when you're good. You're just really good. And then people just constantly have to be there. They have to know and be on top of it and give you more things to do. But I'm happy to have you. Thank you.
I am thrilled to be here.
No, let me thank you for just agreeing to be here. We continue to have some challenges with the other folks. Leo's having some internet issues. He's still in Jamaica. I don't know why it make it look so hard when we're in Jamaica, like internet don't exist.
Oh, wait a minute, Dr. Diana. Yes. If I remember correctly, he's been to Jamaica and didn't have a problem before. So what's the deal now?
I think there is something wrong with probably where he's at, or just the internet connectivity.
It's just not on par.
So I can only surmise that that is what the challenge is. There's nobody here on Facebook.
Yeah, I don't see anybody even on YouTube or Facebook.
No, what's happening?
Oh, they didn't think with all the little stuff that we just did not
share and see if my sharing will help to bring some folks here. It says that there are 17 people on.
I'm not seeing anyone
or something, but I'm not seeing any comments. No. VM Heslop usually starts off the conversation.
Exactly.
But there are no comments yet.
Or maybe it's just kind of slow. Let's call it slow. At least we're on time.
Okay.
So we'll do that.
Activity to be on time so people don't join it.
So what is the weather like today?
Nice, a little hazy, just a little bit so. But it promises to be a good day, I'm hoping, because I'm wanting to go out on the road for a little bit. And I hate when it rains.
Yeah, because it
just becomes almost ridiculous.
Is it that they just crawl once it starts to rain, or people just
they balloon, they mushroom, they become far more. Everybody's out on the road.
In the rain?
Yes, when it starts to rain, typically in Kingston, the traffic gets ridiculous. And then I think, now that I think about it, Dr. Joni, the police are not usually out when it rains, So
really?
There is an increased measure of indiscipline. So people run the light.
Speed and stuff.
Yeah, so it becomes a little bit frustrating. I think.
And this is when they should be out there. Get them some raincoats. Let them be outside.
No man, rainfall, I'm gone. You know, you not get no speeding ticket when rainfall.
Lord Jesus, they mock a melt. VM is here. Hi, VM. How are you?
Good morning and welcome. So happy to have you, VM Heslop. We have a lot of things to talk about. On Tuesday night, we had wanted to recognize Leonie Forbes passing.
Passing.
Um, we had wanted to talk about so many other little things, but now we have far more to talk about. We're going to talk
Yep.
about Leonie Forbes passing. We're going to have to talk about the devotion
Devotion.
of
Big thing.
Yes, about the whole Berlin. I don't know. I'm tempted to tie it into Halloween. To see
I
if
have some theories about that myself.
yes. So I don't know if I'm going to trivialize it by saying then I wonder if it was just a little Halloween prank in Jamaica. I don't
Wait
know.
till you hear my theories.
You wait. All right. So let
And
us.
it's two schools, you know.
Yes.
One is Oberlin, and then there's another school, and
Uh-huh.
I cannot remember the name, but similar situation.
A school in St. James. I saw
Yes,
that a
yes,
school somewhere in St. James, and that was after the Oberlin incident.
exactly.
All right, I'm
And
going to read.
hence my theory.
All right, we get to your theory. The Jamaica Observer had an editorial, and it was really celebrating Leonie Forbes. I'm going to read that. It says, Miss Leonie Forbes sits in the pantheon of the all-time greats. It has been said that people who are the top performers in any profession are passionately committed to what they do and are insanely confident about their ability to pull it off. We don't think we would be going beyond the boundary of truth to say that Miss Leonie Forbes was one of those individuals. In fact, Faye Ellington, the highly respected and talented artist, broadcaster, teacher, and cultural historian, basically said as much in her reflection on the life of Miss Forbes in yesterday's edition of this newspaper. Leonie Forbes, she said, the consummate artist and an exquisite performer. Everyone who knew Miss Forbes saw her on stage or on the silver screen or heard her on the radio or television would agree with those characterizations of the woman who indeed was the Dione of Jamaican theater. Um, and they continue, an excellent editorial. They close by saying an indication that Miss Forbes was destined for theatrical prowess came in 1965 when a London critic, Kenneth Tynan, described as bewitchingly ingenious, end of quote, her
Wow.
performance as a Crystal Ball trainee in the Lloyd Rockford production, Busher Bluebeard. I've never watched Busher
Me
Bluebeard, but
either.
I certainly know we must run off to get our little
And get a good view
and
of
what.
it.
So Leonie Forbes was really a Jamaican icon, and we celebrate that we've had her. Her loss, her passing, really closes an era in Jamaican theater. In Jamaican life, is part of the culture just gone. But we can live.
And I would like to add Di Sparkley too, because I
Yes.
followed her in Canada. She had some good I don't know if they were series, but I know on probably Sundays we would watch this half hour story, mother daughter family situation out of Canada. Even though we were in New York, we would all sit around and watch
When it
it. It
was
was very
parroting it, or
good.
when it wasn't parroting it, when it wasn't teething
No, no, it just came on one of those
station.
public service stations. We
Woo.
happened to be flipping through
Mhm.
and we saw it and was like, isn't that Leonie Forbes? And everybody ran together. We were like, it is. And we started watching it and it was on for like about a year or two. So
Okay,
she
I
was
think
doing
that's
her things overseas as well.
okay. I'm happy that you raised that because we in Jamaica often think that it's just us who have suffered a loss when people like Leonie Forbes passes. But I thank you for the reminder that oh dear, I forgot to mute this thing.
Mute your phone.
And then I can't get turned off. Sorry about
Oh,
that.
you still have your backup phone.
Yes. Have
What's
to keep
going
them
on
on.
on the phone front?
Have to keep them on just in case. Right. But we in Jamaica often think that when we lose someone, it's us here, it's just we want suffer the loss. And I'm
Hmm.
happy that you mentioned that yes, the diaspora too have suffered a major loss, and you guys were
Exactly.
Leo posted a video where he had some years ago interviewed
Interview.
Leonie, and we could probably look back at that with love and passion and just soak up the moment again.
Exactly. A wonderful, wonderful, amazing talent.
Yes.
Um,
Yeah,
gone home to the ancestors.
I mean, gone home to Miss Lou and Ranny. You can
Yeah,
imagine all the
can you
joy
imagine
and
that show?
blessing.
Lord,
Miss Lou must have said, girl, me glad to see you.
long time.
A long time not draw on a bench. Oh my gosh. Then draw a bench and have a good laugh. Cosley Edward says, Dana, it's good to see that you have help this morning, I think. Thank you very much, Cosley. Are you going to come on to join us? Um, Patricia Barnes says, good morning, beautiful ladies. Happy Sabbath. Watching you on YouTube TV. Good to see you,
Oh,
Dr.
you're
Dan.
on YouTube.
I'm on Facebook. I'm reading these comments from Facebook.
No, I get
Okay.
that. I was just realizing she was also on YouTube.
Oh, good, good. Keep the numbers looking. And Carlin Manny says, good morning, ladies. Good morning, Carlin. How are you? How goes your morning? I wonder if anybody going through them typical Jamaican Saturday morning routine. You get up a little bit late-ish, make some whole heap of breakfast, and then start clean house. But Dr. Johnny, you wouldn't even know about that. Alien to you.
Excuse me. I do get down into cleaning. I have chores, you know. Jesse Smith, good morning. Dr. Diana and guests, good to see you all. Much love.
Guys, my guest turn co-host is Dr. Joni. So it's Dr. Joni. So please say good morning to co-host Dr. Joni. Michelle is still out. Leo is on some diaspora assignment down in Jamaica. I think he's somewhere out in rural Jamaica. His internet connectivity, he said, was poor. He's been trying from yesterday to get some consistent service. I don't know. He might have to go wait until we have satellite internet. You know.
Lord Jesus.
Guys, but we start off by celebrating Leonie Forbes. But Dr. Joni, I am going to get into the article about the Oberlin school incident.
Devotion.
Yes. Carly Madden says, good
I
morning, Dr. Joni. Good to see you. Yay. Thank you for standing.
thank you. Good morning. I just I look at it and go, what the heck is going on? That was my first reaction because I did see a clip of the video and I
Uh-huh.
was stunned. I go, what the heck is this? And then once I read the article, it's like, it's time to take away the phones. Time to take away the phones and ban social media.
You think that that is going to be the answer? So just to catch everybody up, there's a devotion at a high school in St. Andrew, and during the devotional exercise, the students starting to faint, or I don't know, getting into spirit and having all kind of unusual things happening to them, and it's as if it just becomes a phenomenon throughout the school during the
Mhm.
devotion time. I think they had stopped the devotion and
They
tried
had.
to treat with it. But really and truly, what really happened, and what is the response?
I am sad. Again, my theory is that these guys, even even though there was a second school, got together, shared some Facebook plot, and carried it out. And even the teacher who was affected, I want to know the age this teacher is in. What age is this teacher? I just think it's got to be some kind of a plan, plot, prank, whatever.
All right. So you think it's a prank? Um,
Mm-hmm.
you think that's really and truly they orchestrated this. That,
Yes.
you know, if they're having devotion, these are the things that we're going to do. And
Mm-hmm.
but some of
Driven by
it
social media.
Dr. Joni, some of it seemed almost natural, like, you know, they couldn't all have been pretending. Um, don't you think that at some point, perhaps, that some really were having this experience?
Because I didn't really go any further with the video, it's
Okay.
hard to say. Because I picked up on the article. So it was like I saw enough. I didn't have time to go back. And I just think, oh no, this is a social media plot. There is no way this
Yes.
can happen. Only one teacher. So
Uh-huh.
I said to myself, how old is this teacher? Because,
Yes.
you know, we have teachers who could be young enough to still be in that age group.
Yeah,
So I
well,
was
all
just
of them,
curious
all of
about
them.
it.
I didn't look at it from that perspective. I I really did believe that they were having devotion, and I
Mm,
do believe that they perhaps invoked some kind of a spirit, um,
wow.
and that this spirit, because the Bible tells us about it, and yes, I'm a Bible believing person,
Mm-hmm.
tells us about these varying spirits, that they are good spirits, they're bad spirits. And I think that they probably just danced with a spirit that was not of what they expected, and it just took a few of them out.
What?
You
What,
perhaps
200?
yes, 200 is a stretch, but then again, spirits are powerful, though, you know, Dr. John. They can take out a whole nation. They can take
Well,
armies of.
yeah, but you know, I'm leaning to the idea that what were they invoking?
um they were just having prayers, but what have they played with before? What have
That
they practiced?
again.
What did they come having practiced? um I don't know. It's a real
It's
tough
it's
thing for me
iffy. And
to
then even in the article, they said something about traffic just stopping outside the school and almost like there was an eerie presence. And I don't know if that's just dramatization. I don't know what to make of the article, but it in my mind it's just not sitting. I think it's a prank.
All right, let me see here.
And maybe because I live in the States, I've seen kids do some stuff and you're like, really? And that's gonna disrupt school, or you know what I mean? But let's see what everyone is saying.
Uh,
Patricia says it sounds scripted. I agree, Patricia. Patricia Barnes. I totally agree.
all right, I'll read the article from the Jamaica, from the Loop newspaper, and it says, the headline says, abnormal, quote, acts force early dismissal of classes at school in Jamaica. And this is really Loop Trinidad. A bizarre incident on Wednesday at Oberlin High School, in which a number of students reportedly fainted after a devotional exercise, forced the early dismissal of classes at the West Rural St. Andrew institution. The incident was reported to the Ministry of Ed. Several videos have gone viral of students, mostly girls, screaming and acting uncontrollably. Probably that is the the root word, Dr. Joni, acting. Um,
Mm-hmm.
in one video, some schoolgirls were on the ground with their eyes closed while moving abnormally and screaming. A schoolboy was also noticed displaying similar behavior while sitting on a chair. Amid the abnormal acts, other students and teachers can be seen trying to render assistance to those students who had collapsed or who were acting outside the norm. Loop News understands that acting principal at Oberlin, Antoinette Gray, has submitted a preliminary report. The report informed that during devotion, a teacher at the school had a quote word for the student population, and so she was given the opportunity to share along with another teacher. The acting principal reportedly said that based on her humble opinion, during the worship, some students were overpowered by the anointing and started to worship aloud as well, while a few others had to be taken to the nurse because they could not control themselves, and a few had also fainted. Um,
No
I,
one knows what that word is, huh?
yes, Dr. Johnny, I don't want to be seemingly cynical, but you know, you have a word, yeah, to
Mm-hmm.
share. And you come and you share this word. Usually when somebody say, well, I have a word, is a prayer or is something along that line. So it wouldn't be abnormal or strange for the principal to say, oh, sure, you can do devotion since you have a word to share. But I wonder where they get the word from.
Is that a signal?
Ah,
See, I just think there is something to this. I think using social media catch fire.
yeah.
That's it. It's a plot. I can't see it as anything else. I understand they had an eerie sensation. Traffic stopped outside. People are passing out left and right, but
I
the
suppose,
social media had something to do with this.
but probably social media had something to do with it after the incident started. So probably somebody take a picture and post a video out there, and then everybody, family start run, come, and everybody in the community hear, or I
Mm,
don't know.
no, I'm thinking more that they got the word earlier on. Let's do it on whatever day, and this is the
Oh,
word we're gonna use, and so on. And people, that teacher had the cue,
okay.
the
So
word.
okay. So the unsuspecting principal accommodated this riot,
Exactly.
using the term
And
loose.
that's why I want to know the age range of this teacher. I mean, come on now.
All right, fair
We've
enough.
seen Stranger Things
Fair.
driven by social media, so you never know.
All right, you might be on to a thing right there, but let us see how the ministry is proposing to respond. The minister came out and said that the Ministry of Education is working on protocols for school devotion. So the Wednesday article, the Ministry of Education, this is from the Jamaica Gleaner, and I'm reading. The Ministry of Education and Youth has launched an investigation to determine the protocols for school devotions following Wednesday's incident at Oberlin High. Classes were dismissed early following a religious exercise during which students fell to the ground screaming. And she quote, while we encourage devotion in school, our school leaders have a responsibility to exercise caution as to content and likely impact on students, as evidenced by the reaction of the students at Oberlin this morning, said Minister Favor. So I'm going to pause there. Clearly, the minister doesn't believe that this is an acting. She believes that there is something within the content of it, and she says it. She
The
says our
content.
school leaders have a responsibility to exercise caution as to content and likely impact. Now, which is why for me I say, well, there must be some other spirits, and there are strange spirits, and we might have just danced with one of
With the
those,
wrong entity.
with the wrong spirit,
Lord Jesus.
because the minister says it. Minister says something. You have to look at the content.
Yeah, but when you say devotion to me, the little I remember of Jamaica, I'm thinking the Our Father, the 23rd Psalm, maybe something from Isaiah. I mean, come on. What could there possibly be in devotion?
Dr. Joni, I thought of it to myself, and I said, when we have devotion, we offer a prayer, we sing some songs. They usually sing some choruses, then they sing a prayer chorus. They read something from the Bible, and somebody might share a perspective on it. But I don't know if it is that we Catholics are far more conservative,
That's true.
why we don't get a word.
Yeah,
Um,
that's
I can't
true.
imagine that at devotion at any of our Catholic schools or any school that belongs to the Ecumenical Education Committee. And the Ecumenical Education Committee is this group that owns church-owned schools, right?
Yes.
So I don't see at a Westwood that them going to just jump up and say them have a word and all
Yeah,
right,
that's true too. You have a good point there. I hadn't thought about that. I was more using my own memories, experiences, and what you and I probably can relate to. But now that you're saying it, who has a word,
yes.
right?
Usually it's a pastor
So,
that who go and have a word. You go to church and them have a word.
hmm,
I get a message.
that's a good point. I hadn't looked at it from that perspective, but yeah, what is that word?
Yes, and the other thing to Dr.
Oh,
Jones is that think about it. I know that back in the day you would have people who would preach on the side of the road, and usually those are the people who would say them get a word,
mm-hmm.
and
Message.
it kind of connote a kind of grouping that you're targeting or you come from a particular
Mm-hmm.
background. So people have
And
to.
you're foretelling and forecasting.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay.
I have a tell you word. I go
Yeah.
forecast all kind of things that go happen. Usually it's total destruction
Mm-hmm.
around that phase of things. But
So,
I don't know. Interesting. It
you
would be
know something? I'm gonna read. Althea McHale says, "Where's the rest of the crew?" That's what we're wondering too. Where is everybody today?
well, she probably thinking, where is Leo and where is Michelle? Michelle is out for a little while. Leo have internet issues wherever it is that he is at. He says that the internet is really spotty at best. So,
Yeah. How many
um,
people are on today?
and today, yes, probably you know what happened? They don't get a notice. Um, did a
Oh, but
notice pop up?
I
When?
got a notice
Okay,
because I kept mine running.
okay. Well, I don't know. They're probably just there and not.
Well, they'll join eventually, but
Tomlinson,
yeah.
Philip, I don't see those folks, but I don't know. We trust that they're all okay. I wonder if they got a word.
Here comes the word again. But we do we even want to know what that word is or the word is
Yes, I want to know what was the word that person had for the students.
to cause all of this?
Yes, what was that word? Because at this point in any student life, the only word would be go study your book.
I agree.
Go
Or
study.
have faith.
Yes, go study your book, stay focused on what you're doing, and stay out of trouble. I can't imagine.
Exactly. I can't imagine anything beyond that.
Yes, or anywhere in that word that would lead to screaming and hollering, the
Mass hysteria.
massive
Can't imagine it. Again, because we're bewildered, I consider again something with the internet, a buzzword of sort. They were given the cue, and then another school tried it out after. I can't imagine.
Mhm.
I cannot imagine. I just keep leaning to that because I've heard of incidents not to this level in the US where they shut down the school and kids are going home, or they're supposedly sick, then later you find out they put baking soda together and created this whole thing, and you're like, oh, so they sent out social media stuff the night before or days before and told the students to wear a certain color and do certain things. Oh, so they didn't have to come to school, or they were in school, they were let go, so they didn't have to take the state exam or something.
You joke.
So, I that's where I was going, but then that's the American side of me. So,
But you're quite right because so much they use the social media space for their own purposes and to influence so much action. They used to have it this mob thing. I don't remember what they used to call it. Flash mob.
Flash, yeah.
Yes, where you would put out a notice and everybody going to gather in the town center at 10 o'clock
Mm-hmm.
dance. flash mob.
Exactly.
So it's probably the word was a flash mob.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean anything is possible. We don't know what the word is.
Mm.
So I'm leaning towards the social media. I'm just
Um,
I'm just going there because it just seems as if it was staged.
yeah.
It was
So,
staged.
Dr. Joni, against that background, then the second incident later in the week, I think it was Friday or Thursday in Montego Bay, is that
Yeah,
the cat?
I would think so. Hey, look, those guys got out of whatever they wanted to get out. Let us try a thing.
Or them popular on social, them trending on social media. So
Oh
it's
yeah. Every before you
yeah,
know it, maybe it'll die down and start up again. You know how it is. If they got the opportunity, let us try.
yes, get some attention for our school now.
Hmm.
Okay.
You can't put anything past people nowadays, especially with those little devices.
Call phone door.
Powerful,
Um,
powerful.
let us let either which way, I think that there is still more so than ever the need for family to support their children, make them understand what is good, what is acceptable, what they can do and what they can't do, what they should or shouldn't even do um
Right.
during this thing.
So VM says all the crime that is happening in these two different communities, anything could really happen. And I'm
Mm,
thinking that way. Althea was saying that she didn't get a notice,
really?
and she's thinking this program is not on all the time.
Althea, the program is on as often as we can get on. So it really has a set slot for Saturday mornings for 2 hours, starting at 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And on Tuesdays, we have a set slot at 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time as well. Usually we do an hour on Tuesday night, but yes, we're usually on. I don't know how to do the notice. I'm not usually the person to sign on to start it, so I might have missed a step. I don't know.
We'll get it.
But we're working on it.
Yep. And
We
Cosley,
word.
excuse me, Cosley said, I'm inclined to agree with Dr. Joni that there was a coordinated plan mixed with this event. We have seen enough of it here where social media is used to create turmoil. The second incident is just a play on the first. You got something there, Cosley. I totally agree. And he says he received notice. So we have
Oh,
to work that out. Maybe we have to start letting them know of the two options to see the
yeah.
show.
Okay.
Let's see
Okay.
what's going on YouTube.
Okay. It's interesting.
Just Jesse Smith.
So
She hasn't made any additional notes.
no, while we're still remaining in the realm of all of this hysteria in the education sector, um, the Jamaica Teachers Association, and I'm reading from the Observer, where it says feels dissed via SSED. I don't know if you people in the diaspora understand or even remember what it means. When somebody says,
Yeah.
"Oh, I feel this," it's
Big
usually
fight.
yes. When somebody said, "Boy, the boy diss me," we have to stand up, feeling quite disrespected. So the JTA president says that our organization feels that way. So let me read it. Lasandra Harrison is scolding the education ministry for excluding the Jamaica Teachers Association from Wednesday's roundtable exchange on how best to deal with gangs in school, and said the snub is further evidence of what she considers a lack of professional courtesy, end of quote, shown to educators. That's a stinging remark without even understanding anything else.
Exactly. We need to know what she's feeling so dissed about.
Yes. So she says, I have not received any communication from the Ministry of Education. The General Secretary has not updated me concerning same. So to my knowledge, we were not invited. You cannot be doing this as it relates to education and not have the practitioners She said, the confab at Jamaica House on Wednesday was held by the ministry in partnership with the PIOJ, which is the Planning Institute of Jamaica, and the United Nations Regional Center for Disarmament and Development in the Caribbean. So these are the stakeholders: the Ministry of Education, the Planning Institute of Jamaica, I don't know how them get into it, and the United Nations Regional Center for Disarmament and Development in the Caribbean.
Wow, that's a
Harrison,
mouthful.
who represents more than 20,000 educators across institutions of learning, said she was not made aware of the huddle, nor was an official invitation issued to JTA. Any plans or policies that come out of the said conversations, you are going to be dependent on the educators on the ground to execute. We continue to highlight the lack of professional courtesy extended to us as educators. She have a point, Dr.
A
Joni.
big point. I mean, come on now.
She
If
have a
you're
point.
supposed to be collaborating and making policies and implementing policies, how could you not have all the stakeholders involved?
Right. And
I
this
mean,
organization is the umbrella for educators at all levels of the system. And you're talking about violence in school.
hmm
You know,
which
you,
is a very, very important part of today's society and all that they're dealing with.
I don't know,
What
probably
gives?
how could somebody must have slipped up on that
That's a major oversight, though, when you think about it. I mean, it's not like she's some, I don't know, first grade teacher or something.
in some remote school.
Right. How
This is
could you not? Yeah, it's a big diss. I see her point now. I wasn't really clued in on it, but now I'm thinking, how could you?
because there is a serious issue of violence in schools. There is a serious issue. And is the Planning Institute of Jamaica going to put people in the institutions to do it? Or are the teachers themselves going to be tasked with the role of impacting it, responding to it when it happens, treating with it before it happens? They should be at the conversation from the get.
Exactly. You need input, you need some ideas around it, you need some planning, you need goals, you need all these different things, and it can't be one side or just a few people at the top. It requires everybody. Everybody needs to be in the know. Everyone should be at the table. I just don't understand this type of disrespect,
Yeah.
this missed opportunity to have everybody provide input and share and maybe come up with effective plans to address the situation. I mean, and there are multiple situations, all type of criminal activities in our schools,
Mhm,
disregard for other people, lack
mhm,
of manners. We
mhm.
talked about that earlier about not
Basic
having
manners, just
manners. Oh my
basic
goodness.
manners. Basic.
And and even we're seeing students come in what with ice picks, guns, and she is not included in this discussion. How? Why?
I don't know.
I
It's
want, go ahead.
I don't know, Dr. Jody. But I said to myself that this is an article from Thursday. This thing happened Wednesday. And
Mm-hmm.
this article come out Thursday. But you know what is interesting as I think and I scroll through the paper, I don't see a response from the Ministry of Education to say, we apologize, it was a terrible accident,
Exactly.
or it was sent to Mary in error, or something was wrong with the system. It's just
Something
like,
is off. You're reporting, but you're not following up to
yes.
see if, it was just, how could that be an oversight? I mean, even if they said it was, I can't believe it's an oversight.
Yeah, but I would have said if I was in the ministry, that is an oversight because
Yeah, you gotta cover yourself.
I would say, I would say,
Save face.
but you have to, but I would have to respond because it kind of, we can't divorce our actions from the behavior that our children exhibit or the rest of the society exhibits. Because
Mhm.
now, if I'm a student with my critical thinking skills up attuned to what's happening around me, I'm going to look and say, them don't invite her. She talk about it, but they don't invite her. They don't even apologize to her. What that?
So
No, it's
it's not a big deal. It
so
can't be a big deal. It's not a major issue then, because she's not there.
are she not important? Because I can conclude, say, well, teacher, they're not important then. And I can then behave accordingly because
Exactly. In fact, it's now a free for all, you know? We can just diss everybody, do as we like, and nothing will get done.
no consequence.
Can't see that. Maybe they're gonna have other meetings. Maybe they're gonna break it down into smaller ones and they intend to have something. But this needs a response. Just barely reporting it, one-sided, that's not enough. We're gonna need some more information on this. And I think it deserves a follow-up, like you said.
It deserves a follow-up.
Deserves a follow-up because this is a big miss on all sides.
And then we always say to growing up, I mean, we used to hear it as we were growing up, Dr. Johnny, you must walk the talk.
Yes.
You must walk the talk
Walk the
because
talk and
know that you've had a misstep. You should come back and apologize about it.
make
And these are
amends.
the little things that in the schools between the students is not being invited to a meeting, but is some other little thing that they're going to feel disrespected about. And
Mm-hmm.
then the other party don't apologize. And so they feel further aggrieved and then go take some other action. It's not a stretch. I don't think it's a long stretch to align it to that. These things matter. These things
Yeah.
matter.
And it speaks volume because then if we're worried about the state of the schools with all
Mm,
that's going on, and this is what we're seeing from the people who should be leading, what does that mean? What
yeah,
does that really mean?
it is
Are we doomed now because everybody's just gonna do as they like?
quite concerning. Quite concerning. Um, and I hope that the Ministry of Education at some point soon find it. Or if they have in fact apologized, that the media would at least carry it.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
that
There should be a special article about that.
Yeah, just let them carry the article so she get this. Or it
Hmm.
probably more what them say about the news article them when wanted from the front page, it more Dr. Johnny, what's the word? Hype.
The
Or
hyped headline grabber.
yes, headline grabber. So but it would be a good headline grabber if them said minister
Of
apologize.
course, it would send a big message to everybody saying, "Hey, we do make mistakes and we're apologizing big time.
Mm,
We're not gonna do this anymore. We're gonna make sure that we dot our I's, cross our T's, and keep everybody involved and invested."
mhm.
So Mark Hayes says our teachers trained on conflict resolution and violence prevention. Not everyone who trained to be a teacher can deal with this.
Yes, some are trained and some are not. And there are systems within the education sector to facilitate some further learning on that. But we're not saying that we quite agree. I agree with you, Mark, and I'm sure Johnny does too, that not all persons can manage it. But
Right.
it doesn't mean that you don't include them in the conversation because you're
Precise.
throwing out the baby with the bathwater. Them will have to
Mhm.
implement it, whether or not they can even manage it, then we have to implement it.
Exactly. It's for the good of the system. So, it's not. Mark goes on to say, "Good morning, dynamic duo,
Ah,
Diana
I
and
like
Johnny."
that.
Why, thank you, Mark. That was fantastic. Ooh, I love it.
I like
Millicent,
that. Yeah.
Millicent says they have missed out on a vital part of dynamics. Those who are closest to the problem, the educators themselves. How can you have an important meeting the without those experience the problem on a daily basis? That was just for show.
Well,
I agree.
They say,
That's all I want.
probably we have too much show. We have too much showman. We have too much showman and showwoman in this place. Everybody does a show. Um, we're not gonna reach nowhere with all of this showing.
No,
We need action. We need
yeah, we
people to
need
take
good
action.
hard work, good
Yes.
solid implementation, testing it out to see how it's affecting each of these constituents and moving forward. I mean, come on, man, they need a do-over. Big do-over on that one.
Gosh.
I can see now why.
Uh,
Big do-over. And a good apology.
yeah, man, I need to start by apologizing because when the pin of them do things and diss them one another, we jump up and say, come, apologize, shake hand, go on to your class, kind of thing. Yeah.
Hmm. We have
Where,
forced them into being good citizens. So
yes,
why not start with you?
exactly. At the top. Start at the top. This is a big this. Must try and get this JTA president to come and tell us how
You
this
know,
was.
I was thinking the same thing.
Yes.
Like to hear more about this man. I mean,
I'm
that's
trying
not
to
a good example. Not at
family.
all.
No. This and it's too early in the term. We've had too
Mm-hmm.
much, we've had too much drama and trauma. It's not even
Mm-hmm.
drama. We've had too much trauma since the school term for the JTA to be the next victim. We've had student stabbings, we've had fight, we've had parent come beat up student,
Mm-hmm.
had so many actions within the education sector that is unacceptable for us to perpetrate it to ourselves at the highest level. No,
You know
man.
what I worry about though? The
Mm.
fact that everything goes on to social media. I
That's what
mean,
you do. Social media,
think
making social media
about
is
it.
like a little evil. Is social is let me ask, is social media a bad thing?
I'm gonna give you two sides.
All
When
right.
I started learning about technology,
Yes.
the first professor said, "We're in big trouble."
Yes.
And we were sitting there going, "We just spent our money to learn all this stuff about big trouble." And he goes, "There's no governance."
Mm. Okay.
And
It's
over time, it's gotten worse, and no entity, no organization can ever manage it, monitor it, or keep it contained. And it's continued.
okay.
With the lockdown, everybody depended on what? Social media.
Mhm.
Media. So everything was now out there.
Mhm.
We're out of the lockdown, so to speak, and
Mhm.
it's continued and it's
Mhm.
just gotten worse. And I don't know if it's me, but it seems like our little Jamaica seems to want to corner the market on everything and anything goes in social media. And it's shameful for me.
Okay.
It's shameful. So I'm looking from that perspective. Something has to happen. Not a China thing where they shut you down and it goes
Just
black,
about
but something.
don't even see that on my face because I was just about to say, all right, so you want us to regulate it like they do in China. Shut it down.
No.
But what if we were to shut it
Well,
down for
we
2 days?
need to monitor. What was that?
What if we were to shut down social media for two? Why we can't have a flash mob that say off social media for 2 days?
You know, we could do something like there was a time when we didn't have stores open on Sundays.
Mhm.
Maybe Sunday should be a day of reverence and no social media. But then the Jamaica.com network would have a problem because a lot of shows come on.
But I like it. We could start by, well, then we are not even the perpetrators. We're not even on it.
No,
We're not going to have no impact. But what if we were to ask schools to say, okay, no social media, or just change the rules, what you put on social media? Just
you
like they
know,
change the rules to say, no, that if you sing a song about Molly or you sing a song about scamming in a positive light, then we're going to block it from the radio waves. Why can't we just regulate what is put on Twitter and Instagram and TikTok and all the other vlogs or blogs or whatever it is?
And here's my other argument. Jamaica don't own none of this stuff.
Oh, so we can't regulate it that way.
Yeah, we cannot unless we get on the board of something and shove a little money and say, hey guys, I really need your cooperation.
But can't we block our internet space?
Do we have the capability?
Oh, yeah, because if we had the internet capability, we'd have blocked scamming, you think?
I think so. I think so. Put tracers on and do different things.
Hmm.
And you know something? Mark Hayes says basic concepts such as giving benefit of the doubt and respect for others is changing due to the technology. Maybe because communication via social media is unregulated, it's left up to individuals, and that is why we have the mess we do. And he goes on to say, I think people should have publicly available social media reputation score, just like a credit card. Oh, Mark, that's a good idea.
Mark, you're brilliant.
That is a fantastic. Can you imagine? A lot of people would be off.
Oh my gosh, I can't think of one big man in a red hat who off long time.
Oh my gosh. And Biana, Brandy, Zerb am I saying it correctly? She says good, he or she says good morning. Folks, wondering if I missed you. Let me take a close look at the time and the subject matter.
We haven't had Diana in ages. Diana is in Canada and she
wow
in Jamaica sometime in the summer. And I like she go to Jamaica for summer break and she just drop off. We don't hear our father all right, if our husband hold the picnic in the house, the whole she do. So I mean, Diana, what breeze blow your ear?
She didn't get the notice, you know.
She didn't get no notice?
And she said, true, I used to get a notification. I no longer do. I'm wondering why.
Subscribe again.
Check your subscription, hon. Oh my goodness. Oh, Sean Chambers said, good morning, ladies, and have a great show. Thank you, Sean.
Thank you so much, Sean. Thank you. So
yeah,
that's
but like the score.
Yes, I write it down here, social media reputation score, because I want to have a conversation with all the owner IT people. How do we go about that? You think so if we did have it, but it's not, you know, right now we work, Dr. Joni.
Why?
Because you need a credit score when you're going to look credit. That is important. But in Jamaica, it impacts you a little bit. But the majority of people who would be on social media, not looking no work. So their social media reputation score, where are we going to use it? When is it going to have an impact?
All right.
Influence something.
So off the top of my head, everyone has an ID. Yes. And that ID goes to a central database. That central database holds a set of information that tells what you watch, what you really like, how long you spend watching whatever it is. So that would require some formula, some mathematical formula to do the calculation. But if we can figure out what you're watching a lot, not judge you on it, of course, but look at what comes out of it, the commentary, buzzwords. Hey, that could be a new set of employment too. Our unique little dictionary of Jamaican terms and stuff. But anyway, I don't want to go too far off, but I'm just thinking.
No, who said it? Mark, you have set Dr. Joni with our IT.
My brain is clicking now. I'm like, oh my gosh.
I have to figure out how to put the logarithms together. To come together to say, yes, we can do this thing. Oh my
Yeah, that
gosh.
is a thought because everything is a database. And then, of course, there's stacking.
Yes.
So if you have stacking and things are coming into the database, they don't necessarily throw stuff away, it just gets pushed down
Yes.
and newer stuff goes on top. But if we can create some type of a formula to figure out what is in there and come up with a way of scoring that, your bad
So
stuff, your
we
good
do some
stuff,
analytics on all of that, compress data,
right?
stack it daily. So every day is like the stock exchange. So every day you're getting a total reading at the end of the day.
Exactly. And then they weigh the bad and good, come up with a ratio of some sort, your score. And then for the month, this is where your score is. So if you dip below a certain amount, you don't get to use social media. I don't know. I'm
You
just
get
making
banned.
that up.
You get banned.
Right, because you want it
Or fall below
high.
a particular grade, they drop off.
Exactly. You want it high because if it's high, it means you're good. You're
So
doing
let me ask you
well.
then, Dr. Joni and Mark, because it is Mark start all of this conversation now. Dr. Joni, so you're going to have to tie it back into some peculiar ID because you know that
Hmm.
I can have 3 passport and 3 different ID. So when you kick off Diana Smith, me that with Diana Davis same way because we they have 3 different accounts. You going to
Yeah,
have to
but
go.
you still have one phone number.
Ah,
Uh-huh. You didn't know that's how they did it, right? One
ah.
central email, one phone number. See, a lot of people don't realize that's how they do it. And they use the algorithm to trace you. Because I have
Mm,
a lot of email addresses, right?
mhm,
But somehow, regardless of the device I'm on, if I watch something, a genre, and I go on and I'm using a different email account, somehow that pops up. And I have to block it. Well, of course, I'm a technologist, so I go and block it because I don't need it to come into this area that I'm working on. But
mhm.
yeah, that's how they do it. It's a set of algorithms, and they kick off and they do some matching and stuff, and that's how they figure out it's you. So you're not really hiding from anybody.
Ooh, we're on to something fabulous. We're going to work on it. Oh my gosh, it's totally fabulous.
I may have read this before. Althea said today is very interesting and some intelligent talk, not just jokes. Love it. You're welcome. Deanna says, my 2-year-old is a little terror. He controls my time. Doc D always want to do street at this time. When I get back from giving him a drive, your show is finished. He refused to remain with his dad. No Jamaica for me. For some time, it's Bermuda now that the grandparents reside there.
Oh, grandparents gone to Bermuda. Oh my gosh. We have got near mango for you, Diana. You're not going to get no mango. Mango season come next year. Me them two mango for you.
And Mark Hayes says, Dr. Joni, I would be a tech solution. It would be a tech solution. Grab data on people sanctioned or banned on Twitter, etc.
Wow.
And then he goes, just think if you went on a blind date or hire someone, it would be good to know what they are up to on social
Oh my
media.
gosh. Mark, what do you do? What's your background? Where do you live?
Yeah.
So we need to hook up. I'm loving this. Oh my gosh. I,
Lawton says,
I have
good,
to tell
go
before
ahead.
we even go any further on this. So there's a software development firm that I sit as on, and so I'm really excited about this. It's called Software Architects, and it's based in Jamaica. It's been around. It's headed by this
Hmm.
guy Damian Daly, and the most recent thing that we did was the Caribbean Stock Exchange, which they launched last week. So I'm
Mhm.
really in my head running away with me now, because
Lord,
I'm
my fingers
thinking,
them going crazy. My head
yes,
is just buzzing.
no, that's what we have to talk about it. Mark, tell me, how can we reach you? Send me your contact details or something because we have to talk about this some more. Oh my gosh. Yeah, him just had to mess it up. Read what him said.
Lord, I'm excited. Me can't sit down. So Lawton says, "Good morning, ladies. Nice to hear you
Lawton,
this
morning.
lovely Saturday morning."
Oh, Lawton, thanks for being here. We did miss you. I wonder what happened with that call up your name earlier. I said, "Am I Lawton Wilkinson there?" And where is Michael Tomlinson? Anybody see him recently? Philip, are you okay? Guys, what's happening? We have to look out for our brethren them.
Deanna says, "Dr. Johnny's surname is pronounced Zurbriggen."
Okay, her surname.
So you were pretty close. Lots of folks butcher it. I just let it go. I know that feeling. Mark
Was
says, "Everything
from
I know, mhm,
Jamaica.
everything I know, I learned at the best school in Jamaica, Cornwall College."
Mark, I was liking you, really liking you. Ugh. All right, it
And you
close.
had to go mess it up. And Sandra Serlin said, "Good morning, everyone. Hi, besties." Hi,
Hi,
Sandra.
Sandra. Thanks for being here. You didn't share any information about grandma sending service. What happened? Um, hello. We don't hear nothing about that.
Not seeing anything
How
on
you doing?
YouTube.
Oh gosh, it's so nice to have you, Sandy. Sandy, so I'm going to come to Jamaica to bury grandma. Grandma going to bury up there. I think it probably just easier for bury grandma up there, but it would have been nice to come to Jamaica.
Thank you, Sandy. She says, "Welcome back. Great to see you."
Yes, it's really great to have her here. Thanks for this insight. Dr. Joan is very insightful, well, we always knew based on her comments and stuff, but damn, she is so insightful.
Lord, I have to hold my hands together. I want to type now and find out some stuff because Mark, you hit it. You really did.
Let me tell you, if it's
Time
even
to
for
score
those
the
two
people.
things, but I love it just for the dating support. Uh, we can't forget even the employment because half of them now get no work out here. But just for dating, because so many people are into dating sites. I must try a dating site. But I'm
You
already
really want to go down that route?
then if we're going to create a tool that we can use to cipher out who good who bad, then we're not going to have they used to have a something list. There's a case about some Craig man or something. I
Oh,
remember.
Craigslist?
The Craigslist and there was some murder thing that he had done. The Craigslist man. We could have
Lord Jesus. No, I'm staying far from anything like that.
Mhm.
Diana says, "Forgot to say baby free weekend. Is at the parents wondering if they want to adopt him." And she laughs about it.
What?
Baby free weekend. Oh my goodness.
Oh, good for you.
So
Uh,
I'm wondering if we should have those guys from the tech place come and give us some highlights on what they've done. It would be a nice way to kind of find out more about advances in tech for Jamaica.
mhm.
Is that something we can do? So now we're considering two sets of guests.
Well, we should.
Mm-hmm.
We need
I'm totally excited. I can't think about anything else now. I'm thinking clicking
Dr. Johnny,
mathematical formulas.
we want to
Uh,
talk about satellite internet. We want to talk about the options because so many people complain. I complain at work down in Mandeville because the
mm-hmm,
internet is so spotty and it just keep dropping. You pay
mm-hmm.
for 20, you get 8, you pay for 150, you get 60, and it's just not consistent enough to be productive. Why can't I subscribe to one of those satellite internet services in the US and have internet in Jamaica?
Because they have zones, they have regulations. They can't do it that way unless Jamaica gets powerful enough to be on the board of investors and can get those extra perks. It's not that easy. And I think that's what a lot of our people forget when they post things on the internet and stuff. They're not thinking that they don't own anything. It's owned by another country with their own sets of laws and, whatever.
Hmm. But just like how I can subscribe to Netflix and them
It's profits, profits. So you can do your subscription. Hey, I'll take your money. But when it comes to your rights and what you truly want, Jamaica doesn't have that voice.
mm,
It's still in the hands of the people who actually own and created and making all the money.
it probably had, so we forever gonna be poor then.
No, you don't have to be. There are other ways. We just have to think of them. Invest and make your voice be heard is one way. Start to follow information on the things you consume,
Okay.
whether it's your bank, the auto you drive,
Mhm.
the places you travel to for vacation or business, the food you eat, lots of way. You know, your voting with your pocketbook is still a thing.
Jamaica, they probably say we not no money for food. Money 160 or 200 to one by the time Christmas come.
But
Um,
we kind of started that by coveting the dollars and coveting foreign.
because we want too much foreign. Is that what you're saying, that Dr. Jones?
And that outweighed our own stuff.
And that is being worsened by social media and all that.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh.
Because the more we see, the more we want. And anything
Go
we're
back,
seeing
go
is
back to
not.
upbringing and red eye and values, or what is
You
it?
would have to throw red eye.
Yes, yes, because no, we want to know, is it that we need to temper ourselves, or we need to be brought up differently? Uh-huh.
I think a lot of it goes back to your good old fashioned ability to have self-respect and self-awareness.
Well, I like the self-awareness part. It is probably crunch of everything that we don't have. Sufficient of us don't have that awareness of self. Recognize what we have, what we're good at, what we can do, and the good in what it is that we're doing. I don't know. Dr. Johnny, this will just throw me off. Make me talk some more.
Yeah, Sandra says, hi, Bestie. Mama will be having a memorial service in Georgia November 12th, viewing from 10 to 1 and service from 1 to 3 p.m. She'll be laid to rest in Jamaica on the 19th, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m.
The 19th, it was the other week. Yes. Sound like my will definitely come a rat trap. For on the 19th. The 12th is a Saturday, I know. All right, fine.
So then that's Saturday and Saturday.
So it will be Saturday, okay.
Yeah.
So the next Saturday, she will be laid to rest. And that's a good day, because that's the day down in Rat Trap, down in Lambs River, that they do the pork. No, they have Dr. Johnny eat pork.
No. No.
Me again, I always find myself amongst non-pork eating people. So there's a place in Westmoreland called Lambs River, and they have a fabulous jerk. It's not a jerk, it's a roast pig that they do. And I think
wow,
a kind of an oven thing. I don't know if it's an earthen
pit.
Yes, a pit. Yes, you all know the things. So it goes into this pit, and it is stuffed with rice and other things.
What?
And let me tell you, when it come out, all niggas sit down and wait for them. They never have enough. So on the 19th, no say, oh no, I love my banner show from my Ghana rat trap.
Oh my goodness.
Rat trap for 11. Oh, it's 11 o'clock. 11 o'clock Jamaica time.
And it's only pork.
Just done. So, and while I'm driving down, or if I might have to go stay in Montego Bay or somewhere. All right.
So it's only pork that they do this with?
I'm not interested in nothing else, Dr. Joni.
Jesus.
I Dr. Jody asked me if I only board and I'm not interested in
It
another.
just sounds so delightful.
It is. And the outer skin is crispy and nice. And when you peel away that, you see a nice little layer of fat for all that flavor. And you get some tender. Oh, oh.
Look at this. Now she's salivating. She
Some
can't think
tender,
anymore. Think about the food.
tender strips of the finest piece of pork, the other white meat. And then you have that stuffing for it. Let me tell you, man. You cry for that.
Lord, well, don't have us all salivating after your
I will
mememories
be sure to take videos. I'll be sure to, and it usually already like about
with the
one.
elbow grease and everything.
Yes. Oh,
So Mark, hey, not to switch,
yes.
but Mark says the U.S. ambassador is there to keep an eye on us. Like, are we stealing U.S. intellectual property? These people work for U.S. corporations. Not necessarily, Mark. That's not how the thing goes.
Come
But
on, get so
you and
cynical.
I can talk about it. And
Uh,
it says, cause it says, Dr. Joni, I read yesterday that Elon Musk is setting up some form of satellite communication system in Jamaica. What does that mean for
oh,
Jamaica in terms of internet communication? Will Jamaica benefit in any way, or is this communication system being directed to the overseas market? No, he's just looking for space to stretch, Causely. He's not interested in Jamaica.
yeah.
Let us not get all flattered.
What it is that there is a internet. There's a satellite internet service that Starlink is what it is called. That I didn't even realize that Elon Musk has this operation called Starlink, and
Mhm.
Starlink is it offers internet service in the US. Did you know, Dr. Joni?
No, I'm gonna have to do some reading on it, but Elon is into everything.
Right. So Starlink
Everything.
offers internet service via satellite technology, and so they got a license for the operation in Jamaica. For me, what it really should mean is that we should be getting better service,
I
because
agree.
then you can reach more areas that the traditional wiring and stuff are
Not
what
reaching.
not reaching.
And
So,
how much is Jamaica making out of this venture? I'm
um,
all about making money for the country. So how much
I
is
don't know.
Jamaica making?
It
I
would
hope they're not ripping them off.
well.
We always end up being ripped off, taken advantage of.
Mm.
So
Oh,
I hope it's not one of those things like the tourism where they're taking the money offshore and enjoying it and laughing at us,
well,
not getting none out of it.
this chicken, Dr. Maria, she's the managing director of Spectrum Management Authorities, thinks
Hmm.
is that Jamaica will be better able to reach the underserved. Everybody talk about
Them
underserved, and
always, that's the hook, they use that and then later you realize it's not so.
it says though that Starlink is the world's first and largest satellite constellation using a low Earth orbit to deliver broadband internet capable of supporting streaming, online gaming, video calls, and more. Interesting.
So I wonder if when he went up to space, if that was the reason why he wanted to go to space to survey the layout.
So then, Dr. Joni, once you have money and you can put satellites out into orbit, then you can just run your own internet then. And
Precisely.
then why I can't put some out there? First time we used to have satellite dish. You think
You
it
have
very
billion,
when you was growing up, we used to have satellite. And there's probably still have some satellite in the
you have
US.
billions. That's what it takes. Almost trillions.
Oh gosh,
That's
no.
what it's gonna take. And some powerful billionaires too to boost it and have the government in your pocket, your lobbyists.
All right, so me need to friend Elon Musk. You know if him like black girl.
You going that route? No,
But I mean,
it's kind of
can't invite him to dinner. He now go just get up and come. So I mean, I have to go find one other traditional route that usually works. So,
without being politically incorrect. You know, he's on the spectrum, right?
oh, all right, fine.
I don't know if you can tolerate that.
All right, let us move right along here.
And Deanna says, so true with the owning of the net in Jamaica. So many folks in Jamaica complain about their internet connection. One specific Facebook friend says that she pays for what she pays for is not what she gets. When Wish Jamaica had their own company, she says she's sure it would be better. I didn't really follow that part, but I get the drift of it.
Typo. Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then Doc D, my grandpa told me about the place in Westmoreland and the roast pork. He and I love pork. Now you're awakening my appetite, licking my lip.
Diana, let me tell you, it's one of the finest. You can't walk in a no five-star restaurant nowhere. Give you a piece of pork as succulent, as tender, as tasty as what them pull out of that pit. Let me tell you, man, man, nah.
She goes
Zero.
on to say, Dr. Joni, folks complain about the cost of net connection in Jamaica when I read Facebook. But when I do the Canada Jamaica exchange rate, seems reasonable to me. What do you think? Um, no, because we're buying things at the cost of foreign. We're not buying it that satisfies Jamaica. So there is that rub. Yeah, it's close, but it could be better.
And also too, why Jamaicans have to complain, you have to look at what their income is. What is the average income versus what it is that you pay for your internet service? Now, for someone who, I'm not picking out who earns $60,000 every fortnight. For somebody, there are people who earn $40,000 per fortnight. So for somebody who earns 40,000 Jamaican dollars per fortnight, and Dr. Johnny can divide that by 150 and tell me how much US that is.
Mm-hmm.
When that person has to fork out at the end of each fortnight, 4,000 or $3,000 Jamaican out of 40 for internet service at home,
It's not worth
it
it.
can be compared to Canada. No,
No,
when you earn in Canada $1,500 per fortnight and you pay $80 per fortnight for your internet service, you're well ahead of the game. You
exactly.
can buy food, you can buy ticket to get on the bus. When I'm in Canada, I love Canada. Dr. Johnny, have you been to Canada?
No, I haven't.
Dr. Johnny, next time
My
I'm going.
cousins are gonna hate me, but I haven't.
Well, I'm dragging you to Canada. I'm dragging you everywhere. Your girlfriend is just
Dragging me to
before that
Canada.
podcast.
Okay.
When I like it because of how civilized it is.
Yes, I always hear that. My cousin's always telling me, you should come, you should come.
No, ma, you need to go. So I buy when I get into Canada, I buy a bus pass, Presto or whatever it is. I buy that card and I top it up. And I know the bus coming at X or I can jump on it. I don't have to worry about putting no gas in my car. I don't have to worry about when I go park the car. There is a reliable bus system. In Jamaica, I don't have a reliable bus system. So my
Yeah,
$40,000 every fortnight, I have to buy the little gas or pay the taxi for this. It just not the same.
doesn't compare at all.
Mm-mm.
Not at all.
So we can't do
And
it's not apples with apples, Diana.
yeah,
Yes, we
it's
have
a
to complain,
big
but
difference.
don't multiply back the exchange because we earn Jamaican dollars. That's our reality,
Mm-hmm.
and it
Yeah.
don't convert too much.
Mark A has something for you, Dr. Diane. He says
Yeah.
Elon have about 15 children.
What? Already? What? Well, it can't want no more. Let me
Oh
look at the bright
gosh.
side. Let me look at the bright side. It can't want no more.
And he goes on to say, your exchange rate talk about Canada. How Just now is why I say Jamaica has no business with our currency. I have no value globally.
Lord Mark, we know so we now have no competition in terms of it, which is why exporting, them usually say exporting is benefiting from it, but nobody no benefit when the dollar is as low as it is. Nobody. Cost of living just too
There are
high.
some formulas though that can kind of level us up just a tad, but it's gonna mean that we need to put away our bad habits
We have
and
to
start
reduce
to grow
sympathy.
industries.
We until you're right, Dr. Joni, until we begin to grow specific industries. And I don't mean when we say grow specific industries that we grow the tourism sector
No,
on the same trajectory as it is, because they grow the tourism sector, but they send the money back to
I
foreign.
know how
They don't
ridiculous
stay
is
here.
that. They need some stiff regulation in that industry though, but yeah, we're too bright a people to be dependent on one industry. That's not even benefiting us.
Now benefit we. No even apologize, Dr. Joni. It now benefit the majority of the people are just like slaves within the sector. They earn a little token amount of money, and forgive me for using that term, and I'm not being racist or degrading people. But the truth of the matter is that they just go through, earn a little basic amount, and the bulk of the money they're earning from tourism that Jamaica is writing and saying tourism sector has earned 3 billion and 10 billion and 40 billion dollars. All that gone back
Hmm.
to people them who own the hotels, because there was a time when Jamaica owned a multiple numbers of hotels. There was a time when
Exactly.
Jamaicans owned a span of small boutique type hotels, when the money would stay here.
Hmm.
Can't
Not
be
anymore.
can't be
Not
no.
anymore.
I,
And
I,
and
I, I look around and see how many of the big philanthropists in foreign have Jamaican heritage, but I struggling to find somebody to give me 200,000 US dollars for build that auditorium at my school. But them give billions of dollars in the US, them converting it to them give them give hundreds and thousands and millions of dollars in foreign.
that's true.
No love for country.
It's time we start to think locally.
Mm-mm.
Stop worshiping what we can get at and start looking at the resources we haven't developed that, enough of this foreign worship. Not that there aren't great innovations and ideas, but come on, people, love yourself first.
Mhm. Yeah, and share your idea like Mark just did. Dr. Joni, Diana, and Mark, we all have a project now to save when we want to go on a dates.
Hmm.
I'll make sure you're dating the right people.
No more scamming.
No more
No more, but him change. He was one way and now this. You'll know before you even start.
Oh gosh.
So
Yeah.
Paulette Chambers says, I love Canada too. That's the first place I traveled
Uh,
right out of high school.
nice.
Good morning, Dr. G and Michelle look alike. Dr. J. Glad I can listen in today. Philip, thank you. Philip Demetrius. Mark Hayes says, Dr. Joni,
Share the link.
if
Yeah.
we grew the value of our currency, the government would have to shrink spending by 75%. It would be a nasty pill. Oh, God. And Jude's, hi, Jude. She says, good morning. Actually, Elon wants more kids, actually has
Oh no,
10
what is she
and
saying?
encourages the world to have more. His reason, though, may get me banned from Facebook.
Oh really? I want more children.
Yeah. And Diana says, Doc D, Canada is the best, even if I am blowing my own horn. And she laughs. Yes, transportation cost is great here. I hate taking the transportation, though we can pay a fortune for gas, especially with the cost rising so high. Then again, we reside in the deep boonies outside of Toronto.
Oh, where are you, Diana? My daughter is Kitchener is not the boonies, but she's outside of there. She's at Waterloo. Hi, Dana.
And Mark says Juice Brown Elon may be brilliant, but the dude is so nuts in so many ways. Dr. Diana better run from that man.
Me now run for me have my own objectives. Me want some money
She
though.
want money, she want riches, she want
Want
prestige.
school. No, me don't want a prestige. Me just want school. Me want one school building. Me want one auditorium. Me want one basketball court, and me want one children's museum. I just want it.
Private jet don't hurt, you know.
Eh?
Private jet don't hurt.
And Dr. Johnny say a private jet don't work, but we not really want that. For we forgot hire a pilot.
Oh,
They
yeah, you're looking at the
go find
spending.
place to park out at airport. By the time you look, then start car drugs panic, then lock away.
Lord, you can't. Yeah. Too much.
And we have to maintain it to Dr. Johnny. We don't want all of that. They're trouble.
Yeah, too much on your head. You just want to enjoy yourself.
No, man.
Paulette Chambers. She said, did Michelle and Leo quit?
No,
No.
internet beat them down. Michelle has some other challenges for now, and she's working on it. Her mom particularly, so she's really focused on that. So no, she not quit. And Leo have internet issue. Me no fire him, I mean no threaten to fire him, and we not get no pay. We can't deprive him
We
of
can't
income.
deprive him. And Philip says, if Jamaica improves its healthcare services, the country would better benefit more economically.
True.
That's true. There's some stuff that they could do
But then
technologically.
again, Philip, make we talk about that. We do have some of the best nurses trained here in Jamaica, but we lose them. I'm gonna say that euphemistically. We lose them. Somehow we manage to lose them. The people like oh no, who keep on a thief them.
Well, you know the crazy thing about that is, and I don't think people, the teachers and the nurses don't realize we have a deficit here because of the pandemic and other things. But when they come from Jamaica, they're not unionized. Nurses here are unionized. They
Oh,
have certain things that they must get in their contract. Teachers
oh.
are the same thing. So they're kind of shortchanging themselves when they come here. Nobody's telling them that.
Mhm.
So, think about it.
Well, if you stop thief them though.
Mark tell you that Dr. Diana, that man would mad you, send you to Bellevue. You have to go scratch that one. Find another rich man, another wealthy person with some good grounding.
But me not want him to keep. Me just want.
You just want the money
Me just
and
want.
the
Want
satellite.
to go to dinner. Me want to carry him down to Rat Trap and introduce him to that pork and could have probably buy it and popularize it.
Hey,
And then
business for you.
$2 million US, and we say, all right, fine. $2 million to me, $2 million for the school. That's a $4 million, $1 million for we just have a couple party around the place. And
So
just
that's what a monthly stipend?
yeah. No,
Monthly stipend?
no, that's US. That's US. $5 million US dollar. Just give me one check.
I want check. We don't want something every month. Every month, but I get a little something. Can you imagine? Jamaica would become wealthy overnight.
No, me not in all of that. Elon, look here, me not asking too much. $5 million US dollar. I mean, sure you there watch me the price of that girl a man. $5 million US dollar. That's all me want. You come, we carry show you some Jamaican sites. You know, if you buy nothing more, just give me $5 million US. You know, me checking, you know, me savings.
She want a one-time check, people.
One
Really?
check. You don't want it. One check. If you want come back again for another round of adventure, same thing.
Maybe I'm greedy. I would want a monthly income.
But that's
Can you imagine what I would do with that?
Change in mind.
Hmm?
But if you're waiting for monthly stipend and in changing mind after 2 months, you know no more again.
Spend all of that. We can invest and put it down. It's not every day it's gonna be raining.
Okay. All right. All right.
So Deanna says, Doctor, I'm in Durham region. The end of it close to Montreal. It is still considered Ontario.
Okay. Okay. Good for you.
Paulette.
So we'll
Call
come
it
to that.
dine with laughter.
Love. Love. Oy.
Millicent Gardner Person, she says Jamaica needs some skilled negotiators when it comes to the tourism industry. They
True.
must insist on certain local investments, no more tax breaks, pay the appropriate taxes, and reinvest in the country is a must. I've been saying that for years, but
Especially in better
somehow they're just too
country.
stupid. Oh,
Mm.
sorry, wasn't supposed to say that part.
That go out. Ouch, we didn't mean that. We wish to apologize.
Yeah, I take it back. So when I come, you don't tell me you're barred.
Yes.
Mark says Dr. Diana, Jamaica lose nurses to US etc. You know why? Jamaica money can't buy nothing. It all comes back to currency value. That leads to crime and every other problem. Lord
Oh
Jesus.
gosh, Mark, you had to start that thing about crime.
Mm.
Crime,
But he did say play the mega ball, $8 million. I
Eight.
will some send some if I win.
Oh, he plays it. Beg you buy one, Mark. Me no want my ticket mix up with yours unless your own win. Buy my own ticket for my own money. Anybody out there gonna buy one for me? No, $8 million.
Eight
No want
million.
some. Woo, make a
And
ball.
Philip said, isn't Elon coming to Jamaica to invest in communication sector?
You
That's
know,
what he did.
somebody own a little franchise and we get a franchise from him. For nothing Jamaica is even important. He now come down there. Unless he might come look for me.
And Jesse Smith on YouTube says, yeah, she has me salivating now, especially when she done crispy. I need a vacation.
No, my I tell you that part that noise,
It's not nice, it's noise.
noise board.
I guess I'm missing something, but
Noise.
I don't really.
You cannot go on so.
And then my niece, she used to trade her lunch at school, and my sister made her something, and she took to school and traded with a kid, and the kid had ham or something. And
Mhm.
my sister had to rush to the emergency
Agency.
room. She never had. So that was like, see, now you're definitely canning pork.
It's just one of those things. Um, somebody said something about Jamaica and the level of criminality and the violence across the country. And I
Mhm.
don't want to breeze over it because of recent, I think so many of us in Jamaica have been feeling a sense of just mere frustration.
Mhm.
Um, you just kind of feel like you're not so in love with Jamaica. And few people were on probably Twitter talking about it. I noticed that there was a member of the Senate who yesterday mentioned it as well, that there needs to be more collaboration to address this spiraling level of criminality. I wake up this morning and there's drive-by shooting, 3 people dead. The day before, so they were looking for a 38-year-old Jamaican man. When them find, of course, is a body them find, the man dead, murdered. Just can't continue. It's like it depressing. Can I just
What
say,
is happening though? What is the root cause of this?
I probably just, I don't know. Johnny, I really don't know what is happening. People are feeling frustrated. Are people feeling that them can't provide for themselves? Are people feeling that them can't achieve nothing? So then just cause murder and mayhem? Do they believe that they can get away with it? I just don't know. Three
But
shot and killed.
this
It's,
might sound weird, but if you're feeling that dejected, why don't just kill yourself?
but
What
if
you kill other people for?
because they don't see it like that, Joni, then figure say, well, then I have much to live for. So probably them just bad mind you. Probably it's a matter of then I reach at the point when I say them I'll kill themselves.
then
They
they're
must say
cowards. But
you probably
but you
dictating
know,
them or you have that and them want it. And so them just take that kind of action.
I'm still, and I keep asking about where's that 10 million US that was supposed to help all of this.
You keep on ask
May
foolishness.
I ask? Because I did see they broke into local programming in the US to show that how
Mm.
Jamaica was receiving this money to help their infrastructure and use and cut down on the crime and give them skills and stuff.
Well, I don't know. I really don't know because I don't, there is no decline. There's a spiral. I read an article earlier this week that says that there's almost a 10% increase in the murder rate over last year. And last year
Yeah.
was horrible.
hmm And it's the same thing here. So it's not just Jamaica, it's all around the world that we're seeing this increase in crime, in despair, the amount of violence. It something is amiss. Don't know what it is. Um, I was even thinking, how hurricane coming and Jamaica pray, and somehow the hurricane go. Maybe we should start to pray.
But see, when we pray, when the man get
Lord,
a
yeah, yeah, yeah.
over
No, no, no.
Oberlin,
Almost
all this for the
forget.
church. I must point out that the church, the churches came out and said that government must be wary of what it is that they're proposing to do in response to this thing that happened up at Oberlin. When
hmm
when the minister came out and said that they're going to regulate it, you
But then
know.
you have to also remember the person had a word. Remember that whole the word. We don't know what the word is.
But won't get to the state like when where we get in America where just devotion, no Jesus, no devotion, no Bible in church, in school. And
Mm,
the minister of education come out. I mean, I don't know if it's a misquote, but in today's Blina, I've seen where she's been quoted as saying school is not church. Um,
but Dr. Diana, in America, you have different types of schools. So you still have church, God, those things, but you have to attend those schools.
yes,
Whereas the public school system is a little different.
but
And that's because
I
the
don't, but,
state,
but then we say that we're a Christian country when
right?
it's
But America is not necessarily a Christian country. Remember that.
yeah, but America was built on the faith of pilgrims and the faith of so many others, and for the it's
It's
not
the
as if
others.
the-
It's the
it,
others that rule. In America, it's the others that rule. So
mm,
it's all faith. They try not to speak to the Christian side of things. All they want you to do is pledge to the country. That's the only one standard. So it's a little different from Jamaica, and I love that about
you said the pledge
Jamaica.
and pledge to America forever, but other than that, nothing else.
Whatever you believe in, that's on you.
Okay, but I don't
Whereas
want
I love Jamaica because we can have a national day of prayer in Jamaica. We can close the whole country down for religious observances. Here we cannot.
I don't know. I don't, but I ponder, or probably I am concerned that
Mhm.
when the government says that they are going to regulate devotions in school, they are controlling too much. And when the minister comes back and says that school is not church, we know that school is not church, but
Right.
oftentimes
It's
the
an
principal,
extension.
it is. And oftentimes, and we can't ignore that the majority of schools in Jamaica grew out of churches,
That's true.
not government. It's not government that started to build and educate the people in Jamaica.
It was
Hundreds
the
of years ago.
churches.
It was the churches. It was a Baptist church. It was a
Mhm.
Quaker church. It was those institutions of church
You're
that
right.
facilitated school. So I don't want for us to have such short memory or such lack
Mhm.
of knowledge that we begin to say that school is not church.
So we have to go back to the foundation.
We need to go back to it.
We have to.
And don't throw out the baby with the bathwater, because some students, as that, if we were to accept what Dr. Joni and Mark suggest, and others seem to agree that it was the social media blitz thing, and them all decide so them are going to act it out and take advantage of situation that we saw. Let us not overreact and throw the baby out with the bathwater, because
Yeah, we need an investigation. We
we
do
need a
need that
serious investigation, Dr.
investigation.
Joni. That's true. Because a lot of them, some of these students, the only principles and values that they're going to be exposed to is what them getting at school.
That's true. That's true. Parents are not too busy or don't know themselves.
Mhm.
So Mark is correcting me. He said mega ball is 800 million, not 8.
What?
I'm sorry if
800
I said
million?
8. I'm
Dr.
sorry. I
Joni,
meant to
we
say
no Elon Musk.
800.
We don't need Elon again. Mark, beg you buy 2 tickets. Dr. Johnny, go buy a ticket when you're done. Everybody in America, please go buy a ball. Remember, say, and me suggest, we want 4 in there, we want 7 in there, and we
Yeah,
want,
give out your numbers.
yes, but them have to
You'll
buy tickets. So
broadcast
I
it.
try to me 4, 731. Me want them number there.
More people who have the same number diminishes the amount you're gonna get if that's the
But
winning
I
number.
need them all to go and buy it. Oh, I don't have it. I'm
Send
not.
Mark a text.
Mark, go buy a ticket. And everybody else go buy 1 ticket for when we all when they put a come right back into it.
Hey, Cheryl. Hi, Cheryl Store. She says, no money, no way out. Life look dim.
Life look dim for
Oh,
future, and I'll tell you no lie, because of all I don't know, too much violence. How you feel about it, Cheryl? I know you're in Jamaica. How you really feel about it? You know, feel afraid sometimes. We get up Thursday morning and there's a shooting at 6 something in the morning. This 65-year-old taxi man driving out or going to start him day business, they murder him.
not for what?
Just too much. One little screechy wiping man at the stoplight, they murder him. I don't know for what, but it don't matter. It's life. It's life.
Well, Paulette said they don't value others' lives. So
Ah,
yeah. And Cheryl says none at that prayer.
none
Going
of
back to the Philip. Philip says get rich mentality is crippling the country. There needs to be a change in the leadership, especially in security and justice.
that. Mhm.
Cheryl says it pon the money. In God we trust. Yeah.
All of us pay cash.
Mm-hmm. Paulette Chambers says Jamaica claims to be a Christian country. Claims to be.
We need to start acting it.
Right? Althea McHale says they try not to rock the boat. That's true, there's a lot of people are scared of cats.
Mhm.
Jutes agree. She says so true. Jesse Smith says seeking attention. They're hurting. Their heart is not in the right place. They want others to hurt as well. Lot of copying and sad word now. Althea says, before I went to St. Hugh's, I went to Wolmer's, and if you did not want to go in, you did not have to. That's for
Devotion.
devotion.
Okay.
Althea again says, I meant to go into prayers. We got it. And Cheryl Stewart, buy 1 ticket for me. It said me come from country and even in the dark, country bush, them a kill people.
Farmer gone and a bush and murdered and all of this. No, so.
And Mark said, Dr. Diana, why don't you consider moving to Canada since you like the place so much?
Oh, no, now me leave my country, so.
Paulette says we need to get to go back to prayer for Jamaica. I definitely agree. I think, but we have to watch who gives the word. No one know where we have to know what you're saying.
Yes, and that remind me of that man, Mr. Smith, who had the church in Montego Bay, because he must have did a
Oh
whole lot of
yeah.
work. But
Oh,
anyway.
that was a craziness. Deanna says, I do win a bit sometime in the lottery. Nothing mega. One time I won 10,000. Wow. Should have been, should have heard me screaming in the store. Would have thought I won 10 million. Wow. VM says, so much blood in the earth and they're crying out. And
Mhm.
Cheryl Schultz said, school is where a lot of kids go to church, and that's the turning point in life. That is true.
Yeah, that is for them church.
Yep,
Mhm.
that's it.
Wow, amazing.
Well,
Dr. Joni, we talk about this spiraling murders and shootings and how Jamaica falling apart. And I look also at the date. It's almost the end of October. It looks like
Halloween.
October just started. But it's also something that Uno do in foreign called Halloween.
Yeah, not all of us.
Not all Uno do the
No,
Halloween thing.
I'm not into that.
Dr.
I never quite liked it because it for me as a kid going to school, I went to a specialized school. And so right across the street was the local school. And basically we would run to the subway to get out of there because they'd be chasing us down. You know, we were the nerds, and so these kids from the local area, they just didn't like us. You
No.
know, and it's weird. I didn't realize I was in a privileged school until I grew up, went to college, and came back, and I go, "Oh, really? I thought it was just school."
You're too full. But but let me ask you something now. You remember what you thought about what had happened up at the school? You think it was a Halloween prank that Jamaican students might have been playing
It
since
could be,
it's around Halloween?
it could be anything, and just the social media was the impetus.
Yeah, okay. And us not having our identifier. Me never hear nobody have a Nancy Day or a Nancy night or nothing like that, no. And Nancy is our culture thing.
We have ghost stories, right?
We have ghost story, but we don't have no special day where we say, all right, tonight at Halloween, we are going to tell pure Jamaican story and pure Duppy story and make
Yeah,
people
that's
in
true.
the yard. We need to have our own things and big it
But
up.
you know something? Halloween is more of a European thing, you know. It just brought it over and people just let it run wild. You know, just like the Christmas celebration, even though it's not a big deal in the US, except for the commerce
Yes.
side of it. But yeah, I mean,
But the Halloween really stemmed out of a Christian practice of
yeah.
celebrating souls, all souls.
But
Uh,
then that's November 1st.
right, but I think it got somewhere caught up into
Yeah, the
to the
day before was all
celebration.
the crazy damnation stuff, and then the next day they cleansed the soul.
Yes, so all of that get caught up in it. Um, but I don't know. We
If
come
I
along.
ask my nieces and nephews, they'll tell me candy and sweets and fun and costumes and parties.
Mhm.
That's their perception. So, you know,
Well, when I was
never
in the
been a
States,
fan.
the kids would go out and I mean them young, and we would make sure that we had candy in the house so that for all the kids in the neighborhood passing through. And I would wear my little witch hat, and I had a sign on the door that said the witch is in. Of course, it's me, the witch. Everybody walking up. I, so I even still brought it to Jamaica with me, and so I have a little sign outside, just out there all the time,
Oh,
hoping,
wow. Okay.
hoping to deter the thieves. It said the witch is in. So I don't
Well,
know.
I always enjoyed hearing colleagues of mine around the country how they prepare for and actually celebrate. Some people have parties and
Mhm,
costume parties. It's a regular annual event. Some people do baking,
mhm.
decorations everywhere in the mall and so on. In fact, I saw a video this week where they had the Halloween
Mhm.
decoration, and across from it was Christmas decoration. And I'm thinking,
Ah!
no, this is ridiculous. It's
And then
all
also
about money.
Thanksgiving. Yes. Ooh.
Forget about, yeah, Thanksgiving was nowhere to be seen. But but then again, the store was Home Depot, so yeah, we wouldn't see any kind of Thanksgiving stuff there. But it was interesting. Here was Halloween on one side, and straight across was the Christmas decoration. And I'm thinking, what's wrong with this picture?
Soon as you're done with this, just jump in at that.
Mhm. Yeah, let us get your money.
Yes.
We'll greet you coming in and definitely remind you going out.
So anyway, Halloween weekend. For those who haven't carved their pumpkins, go ahead, carve your pumpkins. Go buy some holy Herbal candy. Collect all the candy and can bring them to Jamaica. We give them at schools.
Hmm.
So we do that. I want
And
to go ahead, Dr.
oh
Jen.
my goodness, Cheryl Cheryl Stewart says, remember the Ouija board? Was it
Oh
something
yes.
like that? And Paulette Chambers says she's not into Halloween. Neither is Mark. He thinks it's BS.
My name block it. Make it go out. Man, can make them block you in business.
We need you. And Mark says, please, Jamaica, don't bother with Halloween. Not
Eh,
everything
no, no,
from
no, we're
foreign
not
needs to
Halloween. You
be
know, most of them dress up
adopted.
and gone to school yesterday for Halloween and everybody have them costume. Mm-mm.
Follow fashion stuff. And Jude says, my daughter wears a costume to school. Nothing outrageous, more princess like. Not
Okay.
into it per se, but just to let her have the fun of dressing up. Yeah, my mother did that a lot. She tried to make us feel, you know, that
Inclusive.
we're,
Inclusive.
yeah, she didn't want us to kind of feel that we had to do everything strictly by Jamaican standards. So she even learned how to cook certain things, and so instead of having like our traditional big dinner and Thanksgiving, she would expand it to have like some Italian stuff, so it was good.
I
I
like it.
never missed out.
I like how she allowed you to
Blended.
have all the different experiences,
Mm-hmm.
so you don't feel too special. I
Yeah,
know that
well,
Michelle's son went to school he was Mr. Cool. So he had on
oh,
orange glasses and he was just one super cool fab. She
oh
posted a picture on
man,
Facebook of him, Hadrian. So he had on his costume yesterday.
nice.
My daughter tells me that she and her roommates at school went to carve pumpkins last night. So
Oh, good stuff.
having fun. Even at the university level, them still having
They
fun.
still have fun. Hey, that's what life is. Have fun, no matter what age.
There's one other thing that I had wanted to talk about, and it's this whole Haiti issue, where I noticed that the Canadian Prime Minister, saying that
He's going down there.
no, he's not going away. He says he's calling for a clear plan of action before any mission to help Haiti goes forward. And I pause.
Oh,
We're going to need to talk to you because they never had no clear order of action for Ukraine, but
here they're going to go
them
now
helping.
and
Bam,
oh
bam, bam,
please.
off the book. But Haiti is sitting out there in dire straits and them saying they must have a clear plan of action. If they did have a clear plan of action, there wouldn't be
They would
no
have implemented long ago.
exactly,
But you gotta watch Canada,
I
part
mean,
of it is still under, not under French, but have a French connection.
yeah.
And who is the actual pain or thorn in Haiti's side? The
France,
French, exactly. So
France,
I wonder if
Haiti
there's some collusion someplace.
must give back Haiti all their money and all their things
Mhm.
from Haiti. People that would have,
Shameful.
Richard and Musk, Richard and the whole of them.
Lord, the world is super corrupt and miserable. But we're not gonna dwell there. We're gonna end on
Oh
a
no,
happy note.
Yes, we're going to hand down happy notes. Happy notes mean happy birthday messages. So, Dr. Johnny, check who you need to say. Anybody need to wish anybody happy birthday? Let us know so we can wish them happy birthday. I know that Michelle is tagging us. She reacted to the posting of the video. She gave us a love heart. So thanks,
Oh,
Michelle, for
nice.
that. We love you.
My dad is still celebrating his birthday. It was yesterday.
Ooh.
So he's in bliss.
So happy birthday, Dad. We know that you had a fabulous time. Enjoy the rest of the weekend.
Yep.
Sorry, I'm not there to eat some of your birthday cake. Everybody know I love a good birthday cake. Um, Others who I know having birthday today. Mario Mitchell, he lives in Williamsfield. Happy birthday to Mario. A friend of mine, Kirk Tomlinson, Kirk, had a birthday yesterday, right? The 28th was his birthday. So happy birthday again, um, Kirk Tomlinson. Anybody on that side having any
Jude,
birthday that then wish us to hail them up?
Jude says happy birthday to my beautiful friend Opal Morrison Watson.
Ooh,
It's her birthday today.
happy birthday, Miss Opal Morrison.
And Althea McHale says happy birthday to my brother Wade Lazarus.
Okay, happy birthday to you, Mr. Man.
And Mark Hay says enjoy the weekend.
Okay, good too.
Let's see, anybody on Facebook? Nope. We're not seeing anybody on Facebook.
Johnny, when you said your birthday was?
My birthday?
Uh-huh.
Way in April.
Oh, yeah.
Got a ways to go.
Me too. My birthday is April.
Okay, so Deanna says, I love this segment. So glad I caught it.
We're
Have a
happy.
great weekend, all.
Yeah, we're happy you caught it too. We're happy that everybody was able to be with us. I see I'm on
So
3 minutes.
happy.
Guys, I am so happy that you were able to join us. Thank you so much for being here. We enjoyed it. And I have to give all my love and praise to Dr. Joni. Dr.
Why,
Joni,
thank you.
so much. Thank
It
you.
was a pleasure. I really enjoyed. You know, for the first time, I didn't have to sit and type and listen and type and get all heated. I could just sit and relax, even though now I'm going to go consider Mark's input on
Yeah,
that technology
no,
stuff.
no, 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 we have that to go occupy with head space.
You
Not
know?
that was good or bad. But this is just totally fabulous, guys. We thank you so much for being here. We pray that you will enjoy Halloween. Those of you who must endure Halloween. Now, if you're going to a Halloween party, post it. Let me see what costume you have on. Take care, Dr. Joni. Do take care. Keep warm.
You have a fabulous and a safe one.
Yes.
And it's not that bad here, but for those who are in a colder climate, stay warm.
Dr. Joni, what's the temperature today? You
It's
asked what
gonna
my
be about 60 something here. It started
okay.
out in the 40s. I'm on Long Island, New York.
Ah, okay. So you started in the fall. You
Yeah, it's
started
not
at the
that
parties
bad.
in Jamaica, you know, say everybody have on mink coat and long robe and gloves. If we
No, you can still
have
go out with open coat.
open coat, button up,
40s, yeah.
short and wrap with two scarf and have on earmuffs. What's wrong with you?
70s is kind of hot for me, so
Yeah.
I think I've been here too long. 50 years is a long time.
All right. That's fine.
Yep.
Let's
But
come back.
I want to remind everyone that I'm borrowing this from Michelle.
Yes.
COVID is still a thing.
Yes.
Be safe.
Yes, guys. COVID is still a thing. Thank you guys so much for being here. Leo and Michelle, we missed you, but Dr. Joni
Yep.
was fabulous company. We look
Thank
forward
you.
to the day when all of us can be here hosting and having far more
Together.
chat. Guys, thanks for being here. Dr. Joni, love always.
Love
Walk
you
good.
too.
Take
Bye
care.
bye.
God bless.